Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Jim Goes Thrifting, and today I start off in Holy Redeemer Thrift, which is part of a hospital chain, so anything here pretty much goes to charity. So starting off, the only gaming thing they had here was this cool Coleco tabletop arcade, and my brother had this growing up. I think they wanted like $35 for it, which, yeah, it's a little bit much since I would never use it, so I moved on to this antique shop, and I've had luck here in the past. Like, it's not the best shop in the world. They don't have the most best of deals. It's mostly eBay priced, but they do have selection. So, as I was checking it out, they had way more games in here than before. And, man, that Mega Man 6, they wanted like $60 for. Like, even that complete in box Monkey Ball for the GBA, they wanted like 25 to 30 if I remember right. So, but yeah, a lot of GameCube, a lot of just random GBA stuff. Even at the bottom here, they had PS1 and more GBA. So I actually wound up walking away with DDR Mario and Friday the 13th. Spent like $20 total, so I was pretty happy with that. Moving on to the old Goodwill, the old stomping grounds where the series first started. And yeah, they don't really have a lot for games anymore. They just put everything online seemingly. But they did have this. This was pretty cool. Look at all these Goosebumps. And for $1 a piece. And I know Brian would have loved to have seen this. So, yeah, a couple copies here of the all-time classic Welcome to Dead House. I mean, who didn't have this book if you were a 90s kid growing up? Man, just looking at all these titles brought me so much nostalgia. But I still have them all in a box in my parents' house, so I didn't need it. But, I mean, Night of the Living Dummy. Who doesn't remember that cover? So, moving on, looking around through the toys, and this caught my eye. So this is just one of those crappy LCD, card game things, but you look at the name at the bottom, Radica. That's a certain company that I reviewed a certain plug-and-play for the Sega Genesis before. You should check that video out. Link is above. No, I didn't buy it. And yeah, the media section with all the movies. And selection is getting rough these days. In fact, a beat-up copy of Guild Wars, Sims 2, yay. And I always make sure to try and check out the electronics just to see if, it's where I got my CDI, so I still gotta believe. I still gotta hope. Even if there's nothing ever there. But over at the toys, they did have this. So this Woody was from the Burger King line, back when Toy Story first came out, and I had this. With Buzz and RC, and if they had all three of them, I probably would have picked it up, but on its own, nah. So as I was looking around a little more, and I saw this thing, Pilsner. It's almost like one of those Heineken keg cans of Dinkelacker, I have no idea what any of this says, but 5 liters. And, it just looked cool. We're a beer page too, so of course it's caught my eye. But $3 for an empty, keg can? What am I going to do with that? Absolutely nothing. So, moving on to some more books, trying to see if maybe a Sega CD game snuck in there, but... Oh, this is different. Hello, a full drum set. So this is a Ludwig rocker set, which was from the mid to late 90s, I believe. It was actually a pretty nice mid-tier kit. And they only wanted $45 for the entire thing. So it came with no hardware, no cymbals. Heads were, of course, beat up, but not that bad. But $45. If I didn't have a drum set already, I would have bought it. And it's probably better than my drum set, so I should have bought it. And speaking of things I would have bought, it's not every day you see a 1950s school chair here. And they only wanted $10 for it. And if it wasn't already claimed, I probably would have taken this home with me. For no other reason than, when do you ever see this? And yeah, looking at the behind the glass for old time's sake, and hey, U-Draw. I think that's the thing that bankrupted the THQ, wasn't it? Pretty sure I'm right on that, so yeah, that can stay there. And moving on to 2nd Avenue, which is a chain of stores. I think it's an offshoot of the 2nd and Charles line. So, I actually went here a couple times. So, this media section over here, it's going to look different through this video for the few times I went. But this first time was rough. Look at this. Nothing but Madden. Nothing but, like, FIFA and NCAA, but, like, not even the good, like, rare, really late releases. None of them, so... whole not doing this time, and... yeah, Jenga Fortnite, because Fortnite needs to be in Jenga now, because it's in everything. It cannot be stopped. So, moving on, and they have the glass section, and they actually had 2 NES games over here. TNC Surf Designs and California Games, but they wanted $11 each, which I was not willing to spend, because when would I ever play those games? Never. So, looking at the controllers, and here's something different. A knockoff Dreamcast controller that they had for $4. I mean, I knew nothing really about the brand, or if it was any good. It seems like $4 is a fair price. I looked it up online, but I don't like the Dreamcast controller anyway. Why would I need a knockoff? Speaking of knockoffs, knockoff Sega Genesis controllers. Those always catch my eye. And it was a pair of them for $4. And like, I looked it up, and I probably could have flipped them for like 10, but that would have just been more hassle than I cared to do. And speaking of knockoffs, I was like, oh, Super Famicom. Nah, these are like off-Wish. They're not branded. I actually have a Super NES controller that's like this already, and it's a hunk of junk. It doesn't even fit into the controller port, so... yeah, I could have used it for shells, I guess, but moving on. So, going back another day, and the media section was way more stacked this time. It was still a ton of Madden, still a ton of sports games, but they did add a lot of computer games too. And this caught my eye just because of nostalgia. Lemmings Paintball. My best friend growing up had this, and we played it so much on his Windows 95 computer. Like, if I had any way to play this, I might have gotten it, but for $5, yeah, you know, someone who can use it, they can go grab it. But I haven't seen this in a while. Sega Genesis game. I mean, NHL 95 is a good game, but come on, man, $9 friggin'. But it had everything in there, even all the inserts. So I gotta be honest, I was pretty tempted. And I was actually about to buy it, but the line was like an hour long to check out. So, yeah, I wasn't waiting that long for a $9 NHL 95, so I passed. And it was like kind of a fair price, though. So, yeah, looking around another time and all these games. And you know what? The Last of Us. You would think this wouldn't be hard to find, but I've been trying to find this at GameStop for like over a year and a half, and none of my GameStops ever have it. So, taking a look at the disc, and oh my god. Oh god, that is dirty and dusty and beat up. It's actually not that beat up, it's just dirty as hell, so I can clean it and get some use out of it. So yeah, I actually wound up taking this with me. And went back another time. This was actually the most recent time I've been there. So, you know, once again, Zumba... ton of weed, ton of sports, ton of nothing that you ever care about. But, GameCube, Smash Brothers, $2? What? Not for resale version for $2. Okay, so like lately this store's been charging like like $6 for Madden games. So this was definitely mismarked. And they actually have a sign there that says if something's mismarked, they cannot sell it to you, but the lady behind the counter let me have it, and these were the games I walked away with. So, obviously, the star is that friggin' Smash Brothers, because that's like a $60, $70 game. And the disc is in good condition, so that's the best score I've had in ages. And I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. As always, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, leave a comment below if you want to see more of these thrifting videos. And if you enjoyed it, why not check out our last thrifting video, where I saw a ton of video game related Connect stuff. It was pretty interesting. Until next time, guys, cheers.